Welcome back to Townsquare Sunday. It's spring. People are starting to get out and move around. It's also time where a lot of fundraising events are held. One of them is happening next month at the Fort Rodman Fort Tabor complex in New Bedford, South End. The Massachusetts-Rhode Island chapter of the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation hosting a Great Strides Walk on May 20th to raise money for the fight against cystic fibrosis. That is a genetic disease that's somewhat rare. It progressively limits a person's ability to breathe and can cause premature death. My guests are volunteer Kaylee Rock Beauregard and former City Councilor Kerry Winterson. For those who may not know, Kerry's wife Rebecca is living with cystic fibrosis and doing well, right?
She's
Kerry,
doing fantastic, Jim.
All right, that's great. Kaylee Rock Beauregard is someone who first contacted us about this walk and is someone who is organizing it, helping to organize it. Kaylee, we want to emphasize that the walk in New Bedford, part of a nationwide effort. Isn't that right?
Yes.
So tell us about that.
There's walks all around the country. All the money goes to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, all the proceeds, which the funds go to researching for a cure. They also go to cystic fibrosis clinics where people who have cystic fibrosis can go for medical care and advice and those things. And as far as cystic fibrosis goes, there's not like research is not federally funded by the government. So our work to raise money for research is very important.
All right, it doesn't get lost in the labyrinth of government. It goes right to research.
Right.
Right to labs that the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.
Yeah, they actually work with Vertex up in Boston. Is one of their big labs. And since I've been involved for the last 10, 11 years or so, they've made huge progress as far as new medications that have come out. And so already, since I've been involved, it seems like the life of people with cystic fibrosis has gotten better. You know, even in the last few years. So it's a fundraiser that you can see the results. So it's very rewarding.
People are living longer, at least according to statistics that we've seen. In 2018, your goal is 40 million nationwide. And in New Bedford, tell us about, I don't know if you have a goal, but clearly you have hope that a lot of people will sign up and get involved. And for the first time, this walk is being held at Fort Rodman, Fort Tabor.
Yeah, so the walk was the last 3 years was held in Fairhaven at Fort Phoenix. We were very successful there. The problem is we've outgrown that site. There's not a lot of room there. So this year we're doing it at Fort Tabor. There's a ton of room there, so we're hoping to have a ton more people sign up. Our goal, I believe, is 50,000. I'm hoping we far surpass that goal. But yeah, we'd like for people to sign up online ahead of time or just show up that day on May 20th. Registration starts at 10 o'clock and the walk starts at 11. This year the walk's just over 2 miles, so it's not too bad. Everybody can get out there and walk 2 miles.
Do that for sure, yeah. And it'll be rain or shine, is that?
It'll be rain or shine, yes. We've been really lucky with the weather. There will be some tents. In the location it is in Fort Tabor, there is a little building that we could huddle around if it was really bad weather, but we're hoping for sunshine.
That's what makes, I think, that Fort Tabor location special. There are buildings there that are, you know, it's a great location for people to gather. When they're not walking, there'll be some other things going on.
Yeah, there'll be a DJ there. We serve lunch, be hot dogs and chips and fruit and cookies and that kind of stuff. We also have a cotton candy machine, which is a big hit with the kids.
Sure. Kerry, how did you get involved with this organization? I obviously was because of your wife's illness, but you're a supporter.
Absolutely, Jim. First of all, if I could, I'd like to thank Kaylee for everything she does. 11 years being involved
That's a long time.
Is incredible. Not having a relative or anyone, you know, she had a friend, and that got her got the spot going where she's been instrumental. I mean, she's at all the meetings. She knows her scientific information, medical information. I could go on and on.
So you're giving me way too much credit.
No, well, see, I understand that. I'm sort of that way too, being, humbleness in that sense. But it's like being in a helicopter where you look down in the forest, you can see everything in the people who are doing things, macro opposed to micro, being in the forest. I'm macro. I'm in the helicopter looking down. I've been seeing what she's been doing for a while, and she doesn't know that, but I understand that humbleness. So I wanted to thank her and everyone else who helps in regards to this. After my wife received her double lung transplant, she received it in August 13th, my wife did. Received it August 13th, 2008. And after that, she came home, and I basically wanted to give, if I could, we arrived. My wife was on oxygen for about 2.5 years. We used to have cords and everything to go up to so she could, with oxygen every day, Apria would come, and we'd have everything set up long enough. I'd put cords up so she could say goodnight to the kids and, go up there and give the kids a kiss goodnight and whatnot. That was for 2.5 years she was on oxygen. And that girl's a fighter. She never gave up. She would walk 10 feet. You could see her neck being strained, just simply trying to breathe. You have to eat roughly 35 to 5,000 calories a day, someone with cystic fibrosis. They're simply burning calories by simply trying to breathe. So in 2006, my wife was on oxygen for about 2.5 years. It was getting really dire. She only had a couple of months left. We continuously would go out for treatments up in Boston. Dr. Gibbons up there, I can't say enough about them up there at Mass General. We'd be up there every 2 to 3 weeks. She'd have to go up 10 days or so to get a cleaning out there. They do a bronch to go down, get the mucus out of your lungs, and give you a cleaning, basically, is what it was called. So we spent quite a bit of time up in Mass General. And my wife received her double lung transplant, like I said, in August 13th. Now, I bring up March 19, 2008, because we arrived in Pittsburgh, where there was only a couple of months left at most for her to survive. And they only do 15 to 20 double lung transplants up in Mass General at that time. And we weren't aware that there was another alternative, which was Pittsburgh, UPMC, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, which is unbelievable. They do roughly 250 to 275 double lung transplants per year. It was a godsend. We didn't know that they were there. So March 19, 2008, Dr. Gibbons knew we were in dire straits, so they med-flighted my wife and I, a nurse, my wife and I, 2 nurses, a pilot and a co-pilot on a jet. Thank God I had insurance, or I would have lost my house. And they med-flighted my wife and I from Municipal Airport over in Boston, right to Pittsburgh, a nearby Municipal Airport over in that area of Pittsburgh. We landed, got in an ambulance, brought my wife right over to UPMC. Got her in the hospital. She was there for about 10 days, getting a cleaning. I had to find a place to stay up there. I ended up renting a place up there for a while, so I was kind of going back and forth home. We arrived there March 19, 2008. My wife, so March goes by, you have a beeper. It basically, you stand by to, unfortunately, it's a bittersweet feeling. Someone has to pass to give life. So it's a bittersweet feeling. So we arrived there March 19th. We have the beeper. I'd visit her every day, go to the hospital. I met so many beautiful people up in Pittsburgh. So March went by, April, May, June. I got the 3 kids back at home. Thank God for my in-laws and my parents and my entire family, as well as my extended family. March 19th, we got there. March, April, May, June, July. We got a call, 4th of July. Unfortunately, there's a lot of accidents that occur. And like I said, they do about 275. They have a broader region, West Virginia, Ohio, etc., New York. So August 13th, 4th of July, we received a beep. We were ready to go. We were thinking, oh my gosh, here it is. We get into the hospital, get everything all set. The blood type and cavity size has to be the match. Everything was a match, and everything was perfect. But we had everything all set up, and until the doctors get to look at the lungs and actually see the lungs, then they can determine, without the blood type and cavity size being a match, whether they can go forward and try the procedure. So there was a lesion on it, so it didn't materialize. God knows when. So we went back to the room, kept my wife in the hospital, everything, and what happened was the next call we received, the next beep we received August 13th, 2008. Got the beep. I was home at the time. My mother-in-law called me. I got the call. I shot up, got to the airport. My parents brought me to the airport, shot there. I arrived at PIA, Pittsburgh International Airport. My mother-in-law called. I landed. I called her. 1 lung's in. It was unbelievable. I lost it right there at the airport. And so she ended up receiving the double lung transplant my wife did on August 13th, 2008. That's her birthday. She received a double lung transplant on her birthday. She has a new birthday right now, and that's the date that the new birth that she had. She was in ICU for 17 days. She came home October 13th. March 19th, the duration to October 13th, she came home. That's why I got involved in this, because my Cheryl Dua, a girl, did fundraising for us. They raised $36,000 for our family while we were up there. We didn't even know this was occurring. There's a lot of expenses for flights, for family members. They have great support groups up in Pittsburgh, Family House, where you get to speak with people, spouses and individuals who are going through situations. I met people all over the world up in Pittsburgh. I met people from Saudi Arabia. I met people from California, Croatia. I met a couple who, if I could, well, I don't know if I have enough time, but I met a couple in Croatia. I was in room 520, and they were in room 518. And the day before, we had subgroups that we talk and let and vent and get our feelings out and whatnot. And this little boy, 5-year-old boy from Croatia, had a heart transplant a year ago. And after a year goes by, you get to correspond with the family to see if you'd be able to communicate. So this woman from New Jersey who lost her 6-year-old daughter basically was coming that next day to communicate with the family from Croatia. And I'll never forget the smell of the hallway and being in room 518 and then in 520 across and looking and seeing the boy there with the mother and father with the boy with a mask on and looking down and seeing this woman walk down. And this woman walked down who lost her 6-year-old daughter simply to come see the boy from Croatia who received who received the heart transplant. And all she wanted to do was simply walk down the hallway. She went over to the little boy. I'm sorry if I can move for a little bit. She went over to the little boy and simply went up to him, leaned over, wanted to hear the heartbeat, gave a kiss on the cheek, and then walked away. That was one of the most powerful things I have ever seen in my entire life. There's a lot of beautiful people in this world. There's a lot of givers. And I met a bunch of them. There was a gentleman, Khan, from Pakistan, who ended up waiting for a kidney and a liver. He would bring me to the hospital every single day to visit my wife. He'd drive me there every day. I tried to give him gas money. He didn't want anything. That gentleman passed away about 9 months later. That was a gentleman who gave every single day. We met a lot of beautiful people, Jim. That's basically what I'm saying. And we gotta continue to fight this disease. It's a hideous disease. 1 out of 3 people are affected by it, meaning both parents or anyone who has a child, both people being a carrier of the cystic fibrosis gene, have a 1 in 3 chance of maybe having a child with it. So the information, the research, education, everything is very paramount in this in regards to having funding so we can continue this. My wife's supposed to have 10 years of life. She had the double lung transplant in 2008. It's 2018 right now. Yeah, we don't look that way. Yeah, we move forward. We don't go backwards. We continue to move forward. My wife is the poster child up at UPMC with Dr. Paluski and all the doctors up there in relations to how good she does. My phone every day. My phone every day. Want to see something every day? I'm sorry. Every single day. Here's my alarm right here. See 9 o'clock? That's when she takes her medicine. Haven't missed this alarm ever since 2008. 9 o'clock. That's when she takes her medicine every day. She's the poster child up there.
You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. I'm Jim Phillips. My guest, 2 folks affiliated with the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, Kaylee Rock-Beauregard and former New Bedford City Councilor Kerry Winterson, who just has told us a moving story about his wife Rebecca and the treatment she received in Pittsburgh. This event is May 20th, and it's at Fort Tabor, Fort Rodman Complex. The walk starts at 11 a.m. It's a 2-mile or so walk. How can people sign up, Kaylee? How can people get involved?
The website is you look up online, greatstrides.org. You can sign up. It'll say find a walk. It's the South Coast Walk, South Coast 2018 walk. You can just sign up. You can join our team, or you can just sign up as an individual walker, or create your own team, or you can just show up on the day of the walk at 10 o'clock, and you'll get more information then.
So if you've never done this before, folks, this is a good time to think about this. Cystic fibrosis, as you've heard from Kerry, is a treacherous disease that people need to have special care to get through this. Working on a cure, people are living longer. Children are living longer now because of the cure or the research that's being done. But much more needs to be done, clearly, for the victims of cystic fibrosis. I want to thank you both for coming in here. It's a remarkable story, Kerry, and one that you're going to share, I'm sure, a lot, because it's a remarkable story.
Thank you, Jim.
It's a miracle, but
it is.
With a little luck here, we can go a little further and beat this thing.
And you know, Rebecca, with all she's dealing with, actually is a committee member on our walk, so she's helped us plan the walk every step of the way.
Well, good luck to both of you. Good luck on May 20th. Again, May 20th. Quickly, Kaylee, where can people go to find a registration form or a pledge sheet or whatever? What can they do?
You look up Great Strides on the internet. I think it's greatstrides.org, and it'll bring you to the Great Strides for Cystic Fibrosis site, and there you can register to walk for our South Coast Walk, or you can show up on the date, May 20th, 10 a.m.
All right. Thank you.
Jim, if I could quick, you have 1 second?
Be quick.
All right, I'll be very quick. I'd like to thank some people contributed. Tia Maria's, who's doing stuff. We also have local 841 New Bedford firefighters, counselors John Saunders, Steve Martins, Linda Morad, Naomi Carney, Ian Abreu, Joe Lopes has been instrumental in helping us. DFFM Director Ken Blanchard, Parks and Recreation Director Mary Raposa, Sandra Manning from the Health Department. I can't thank everyone. Fraser Sposal, Peter Muse from First Citizens Federal Credit Union, all those people out there, please come down and join us. This is a cure that we need. This is research that we need. And I want to thank again Kaylee for everything she's done, as well as everyone else. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you to both of you. That's it for Townsquare Sunday this week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next Sunday at 6 a.m.